Hi, I'm Victoria Maclean and welcome to my channel. So today, as you saw by the thumbnail I posted up yesterday, is all about my potions classroom. You can see it just there. I want to talk you through how I built it, how I made it, and hopefully I'll give you some really good tips on how you can do it yourself, because honestly, as fiddly as it was, it is so simple to create. So if you would like to see how I created the potion shelf, then keep on watching. If you would like me to bring Hogwarts to you, then why not subscribe to my channel? Let's get started. So before we get into my potion shelf, I want to show you what I had in the post yesterday from platform 9 3/4. Now I want to be able to show you everything about it, but I can't because it has my actual address on it. I tried to put my PO box on it and it wouldn't accept it. So I'm going to show you what this is. This is a new thing they've just released the last couple of days, and I was so excited to get hold of it. I have my trusty scissors. I love the way they pack their stuff. I don't like opening it. Do you know what I mean? There's so many people that feel the same way, that they do not like opening the platform 9 3/4 stuff because they pack it so well. It's like, it's the reason why you buy these things, right? Now I posted this on my Harry Potter UK page, showing that platform 9 3/4 were doing them. But as you can see, it is an envelope. I've got to be careful, see, because I can't show you everything. It's so annoying because I want to be able to. But this is beautiful envelope that this item comes in. Isn't it gorgeous? Proper Harry Potter. Again, officially licensed. Let me see if I can cover this over. Okay, so this is an officially licensed Hogwarts acceptance letter, personalised to you. So it is there, and I put Ms. Victoria Maclean because I don't know, Mrs. just doesn't sound right on a Hogwarts acceptance letter, you know. I'm 40 years old, you know what I mean? But you get everything. You get the envelope, you get the letter, you get the wax seal as well. So I'm going to show you the letter close up. Now, in case you weren't aware, the House of Meena actually do an incredibly limited edition of the Hogwarts acceptance letter, written by hand by Mirafora Meena herself, who created the original letter to Harry Potter in the films. Now, these letters go for £1,500. However, they go up in value incredibly quickly. My friend Maria York has one. And Mirafora is a very close friend of Maria. I'm very jealous right now, you know. Maria, you're amazing. But Maria actually has a handwritten one. Apparently the story goes that Mirafora dropped everything to get Maria's letter done. But if you look at it on their website, you will see why it costs so much money. It is just incredible, and it is a piece of art. It is an official kind of, well, you can't really say a prop, but it is an officially licensed prop replica in the highest standard. If I could afford to spend £1,500 on a letter, I would buy it myself. So you never know, in years to come, when I hit that 100,000 subscriber and I get my silver play button, I'll be able to afford it, you know what I mean? So yes, I'm very close to 10,000 subscribers. I am going to soon be an officially a bronze YouTuber. So I'm really excited. You don't really get anything for it, but it's like, it's just the moral of it, you know what I mean? It's the excitement. It's the fact that you guys love me enough to keep subscribing. And for those of you who have been with me all this time, I love you so much. I love my new ones as well, but I love you guys so much. Anyway, are we ever going to get to this? Right, so this, oh, I've just seen my blooming address on this as well. I can't win. So, right, so I will read it to you and I will show you the next page, okay? Okay, so it says, "Dear Ms. Maclean, we are pleased to inform you that you have been accepted at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry." Of course, I think everybody can recite this, can't they? "Students shall be required to report to the Chambers of Reception upon arrival, the dates for which shall be duly advised. Please ensure that the utmost attention be made to the list of requirements attached herewith. We very much look forward to receiving you as part of the new generation of Hogwarts heritage." I love it. It's like, you can hear McGonagall say it, even though I'm not good at Scottish accents. I'm not going to try and do a Scottish accent. You can hear her voice in this video. Yours sincerely, McGonagall, Professor McGonagall. It is just so beautiful. Right, the next piece I can show you because there is no address on it. I'm gutted I couldn't put my PO box. If you guys would like to send me anything, any kind of fan mail or just to say hi, then my PO box is down below for you to send me items, okay? So don't forget that now. There we have the Hogwarts acceptance, a list of items that you need. Now, if you guys don't know, in the very first lot of printing of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, one of the ways you can tell you have a first edition, even though it's not guaranteed, because I have one of the books that contains it and it's not a first edition. Down below, I think it's on page, I can't remember what page it is now. Down below you have the list here of items, and there you can see the word wand. Now in one of the first editions you actually have the word wand printed there and at the bottom. Again, this error was noticed and they changed it in later editions. So that's quite interesting, but I've got to say this letter is absolutely beautiful, and of course it's on kind of parchment paper as well, so it's really lovely. And the fact that you get it with this lovely gift acceptance kind of envelope as well, it's a really, really, really nice keepsake. I won't be putting it together myself. I will leave it in its envelope as it is. I will leave it in its packaging as it is, because I think coming up now to the 1st of September, I think they're going to be trying to discourage people from going to Platform 9 3/4 this year, because a lot of people travel to the UK and go to King's Cross for the 1st of September, and they all gather at King's Cross Station for the celebration of the 1st of September. Obviously, I don't think they're going to be doing that this year, which is such a shame, but this letter is kind of a little break between. It's lovely to receive an acceptance letter through the post, even if it's not actually going to send you on your way to Hogwarts. Now here you can clearly see my beautiful potions classroom. I do tend to kind of stare at this a lot, and there are some details about this potions classroom that you don't actually know about. So this is really lovely. Now this part was my husband's idea. Now as you can see from this clip, you can actually see Sirius Black's name scratched into the table, like he had done it during class. And you can't quite make it out, but you have James Potter next to him. That was something that it was Adam's idea, and I did it while the paint was wet. I thought it would look really cool because he told me to do it, and I thought, no, don't be silly. And then when I thought about it, I thought, go on then, I'm going to try it. Now, these items on this table are, apart from this item here, which is from Geek Gear, this beautiful, beautiful cauldron that was in one of the last Geek Gear boxes from a few months ago. Isn't that gorgeous? Such a beautiful, beautiful piece. Now this was from Geek Gear. I'm not sure if you can buy it on the Geek Gear website, but I will try and have a look for you. Now I'll take it off because I want to show you the tables. And these were from eBay. They are so, so, so cheap. Tiny, tiny little vials that you can buy. Now, somebody messaged or posted on my YouTube channel today that these vials here, people don't actually realise how cheap they are. And to do them yourself is incredibly cheap. You've got people that sell potion bottles online, and it's ridiculous how much they charge, right? So, so ridiculous. But I think I paid, I can't find these exact size now because I really want more of them. But I think I paid about £3, maybe £4 for 10 of these bottles. Now as you can see, they are brilliant. These have all been done by me. The labels are so, so simple. Now all I have done is printed a load of labels from Google Images. It's so simple to do. Just put in potion labels on Google Images and find some really clear high definition ones, HD ones if you can. You can find them because I found loads. Now obviously the smaller you go, the better they are for bottles of this size. Now all I have done is you can either use tea bags or used tea bags to stain your pieces of paper. If you put the tea bag all over the piece of paper and leave it dry, it ages the labels like this. And then I've literally gone outside, I've got a few twigs, a few pieces of leaves, and I have put them inside the bottle to create the potion ingredients inside. That is it. This cork that you can see here is just been dipped in wood stainer. That is all it is, to make it look aged. Because obviously when they arrived, they were that colour. So we don't want them looking brand new. If you actually look at the potions classroom, nothing looks brand new, it all looks aged. Now I'm going to show you this stuff a bit close up now, so you've got to bear with me because I've got to take everything off. All of these items, except this hat, which is in the McGonagall Geek Gear box that I showed you. If you want to see that unboxing, which was brilliant by the way, because I dressed up like Professor McGonagall, then check out the link above. All of these little items are from Star Ace. Now they come with the Star Ace figures. Some of these are from Luna Lovegood, like the little bag you can see under the table, and then the rest of them are from this incredible Severus Snape that was sent to me for free. Thank you very much, Star Ace. But I absolutely love how he looks in this shelf. It is just amazing. I'm going to go through this all, so don't you worry, you're not going to miss anything. And again, if there's something that you want to ask me about how to create this yourself, then please write it in the comments below and I will get back to you straight away, because I am getting back to everybody at the moment who's commenting and I'm so pleased with that. So with Snape you get things like a little mini Snape wand. If you want to see the unboxing of Snape, check out the link below, above, because I show you in depth what he gets with him. Now these tables were so easy to make, and I mean so simple. Now all it was a piece of cardboard that I cut up, and then I got new shelving the other day. Where was it? I got new shelving from IKEA, and inside the packaging, to stop everything from getting ruined, there was these big pieces of cardboard that you can see there, to stop the cardboard from touching. Now that is all I've done, is I've got the piece of cardboard and I've put another piece of cardboard on top of it to create the 2 layers, okay? Then what I have done is I've got these massive cocktail sticks that are used for things like kebabs and so on. You can buy them from anywhere, Poundland, pound shops, Tesco's, anywhere like that, any kind of shopping supermarket. If you go to where things like utensils and stuff are, you're bound to find these cocktail sticks. They're really long, they're like this. And what I did is I measured everything. I obviously put them up against Snape first to see if I could get a good ratio of the size of him compared to the tables. I wanted it to look realistic, although I couldn't go too big, so it is slightly smaller than the Snape figure. All I did was I cut these up here and I put holes in each piece using one of the cocktail sticks, the giant skewers if you like. And what I did is I filled that hole with hot glue from a glue gun, and I put the piece inside and held it in place until it dried enough for me to be able to let it go. Now the good thing about glue guns is it does dry incredibly quickly. And I did the same with these. I measured how far I wanted the pieces of wood to go, and I put a tiny bit of piece of glue on each end and I held it in place. Be careful you don't burn your fingers though. I held it in place until the glue was hard enough for me to be able to let go. And then I painted the entire thing. I just painted it black, a couple of layers of black. Now, I don't know if you can see it very clearly there, but you can see you've got Sirius Black's name there, and just beside that you have James Potter. It's quite hard to discern, but he is there. Again, that was Adam's idea, and I absolutely loved the idea of him having them having their names scratched into the wood while they were in class with Severus as children. Now, as for these stools, my son, for some reason, Daniel thought these were genius, okay? Again, very easy to make. All I did was I used a galleon from Harry Potter, okay? These are one of my cheap versions. I've got lots of these on my shelf, as you will see in later videos. All I did was use this as a template, very carefully, obviously, and I drew a circle on some cardboard and I cut the cardboard out. Now, what I did then was very similar to the tables. I pierced 4 holes in the cardboard, not all the way through, just enough for me to be able to stick some sticks in. Sticks. I measured how high I wanted the stools to be. I'm not brilliant with maths, so a lot of my stuff is very rough. I visualize how I want them to look and I do it. But I measured roughly how high I wanted my stools compared to my tables, obviously, so they would be realistic. And then again, I put a little blob of glue inside there. I put a little blob of glue inside each hole one at a time, and I held the skewers in place until it went hard enough for me to be able to let it go. And that is how I created the stools. Now I only did 4 of them because I thought the shelf would look too cluttered if I actually put too much on there. Now I did the exact same thing with the shelves. Now I'm going to show you carefully. All these potion bottles, some of them are absolutely minute. Look at the size of that. That is just the tiniest little potion bottle ever, other than these ones. I'm going to try and decorate these, but it's finding the time to do it at the moment. I'm so busy. But I love, love, love these shelves. Now obviously my potion classroom, I will show you all in depth. Right, let's take these off. The only problem with these little bottles is they're not the easiest things to handle. So I'm just going to pop them on the shelf next door. But the lovely thing about things like this, when they're so small, they're actually hard to break because they are so small and the glass is quite strong. So with these now, all it is exactly the same as I have done with the tables. These again were pieces that were in the IKEA box that I said that I'd received for packaging. All I did was I measured what I wanted. You can see it's quite crudely done, but it's a potions classroom. Nothing is going to be perfect. I very crudely did this. I measured where I wanted it on the window. So obviously I wanted this part here to kind of go into the window ledge itself. And again, underneath, all I did was the same thing as I put holes in, I put the skewers in, and that is exactly where I wanted it all to be. So again, exactly the same method as the table. Now, bearing in mind this shelf now looks real messy. Right, let's get into how I did everything else, because I think obviously you're going to be very interested in that. Now, I did not prime these shelves. I did not sand them down. Some of them I did because the paint would not take. But I did not sand them down. When they're in the house, sanding stuff would be a nightmare. So I tried to do it with as little mess as possible. Trust me, I think I failed in the mess because the house was stinking, especially doing that blooming niffler shelf with all the gold and silver glitter. Adam wouldn't come near me because I was just one big glitter ball. It was so funny. He hates glitter. I love glitter. Anyway, so this was very, very easily done. This texture at the back here is just polyfiller. That is all it is. It is polyfiller put on with a spatula and just creating a texture to make it stand out. Now, I didn't do this all over the shelf because that's why this part is still smooth, because I wasn't 100% sure where I was going to put the arches at the time. So I only did it to a point. And then obviously I used the paint then to try and create the same look as it would be with the polyfiller on it. Now obviously there's more polyfiller on the Gringotts shelf because I really needed to use the fork to get those grooves in there. And then what I did, you leave it 24 hours. You can't touch it for 24 hours because it is a nightmare. I did the edges as well, because if you go into places like castles and things like that, when you look at the floors of castles, the edges of the castle of the rooms look like they've just got a build-up of like concrete or mortar. And it's all around the edges. It's all built up, almost like piles of dust. Probably is piles of dust, but it looks like lots of mortar that hasn't been kind of tidied or cleaned up after they did all the decorating or built the castle itself. So I did the same effect, and all I did was get the polyfiller. I used my finger with a glove on, and I just literally pitted all the way around the room to create these kind of uneven edges of the room itself to make it look like a castle room. Now, once I did the polyfiller, as I said, I left it for 24 hours. That was the best thing to do. Once it's 24 hours is done, once your polyfiller is done and it's solid, you can then start painting. Now, how I paint, right, is great. So even though I have expensive paintbrushes, they are actually not bought by me. They were actually my mum's. My mum was very much into her arts and crafts, probably where I got it from. And of course I love anything to do with my mum, so I like to kind of channel her and try and do as much as I can like she did. Hence the reason why the shelves are so decorated. But with painting, the older the brush for me, the better. And if it's really crudely made, as long as the bristles are solid in the brush, they're not going to come out, because trust me, that is a pain. Especially squirrel hair brushes are a nightmare because squirrel hair gets out of the brushes so easily. I love old brushes. This, believe it or not, is my favourite brush. This brush is awesome, okay? It's really quite rough, quite hard. And what I do when I paint things to create the effect of it being so 3D almost, so there's a texture there, which is exactly how I did the Iron Throne years ago, is I dip the paint into a little bit of the paint, dab some of it off, and then I literally just dab. That is all I do, is I dab. And that's why it takes so long, because you are dabbing. And I find that one of the best things to do then is to build up the paint with different colours. So obviously in this, you can't really see many colours, but if you really look at it, you will see things like blues, browns, greens, greys, oranges, blacks. You will see all sorts of colours in these shells, because the more colours that I find that I experiment with and I use to create an item, the more detailed and in-depth that item becomes. So with Harry Potter, I love the idea of being like a prop maker, because I have made props or doing sets and things. But again, where am I going to find the time? However, this is as close as I'm going to get to it, because I'm building my own sets in my own house. Come on now. So with the window, I found this very difficult because I'd never done anything like this before. The potions classroom wording I found incredibly difficult. I ended up printing, I looked to see how, if I could find the font that they use to create the wording, potions classroom, potions cupboard, and I think they've got Latin or something written over the rooms. I looked for the right font and I really struggled. This was as close as I could get to it on my computer. Now what I did is I printed out the word and I cut them out like stencils. And I tried to use the stencils then to create the wording. This was what took me so long, because when I used the stencils, they bled. So each letter was like one big blob of black. So what I then had to do was leave it to dry and paint in the detail of each letter. It took me forever and my arm killed. But I did it, I managed to do it. That's why the one above doesn't have the writing, because this took me so long. Now once that was done, I did the black around the edges, which is what they have in the potions classroom. This window again was so easy to do, the painting wise. Once I figured out how to do it, I'd never done it before. So what I did is I painted, wet obviously, the colours of like the sky or a mixture of water, because obviously it's in the dungeon, isn't it? So you'd be close to the Black Lake, I think, in this. So I did as much as I could with the colours of water and the sky mixed together. There's a little bit of green, like an algae kind of look to it as well. And then what I did is I got the back of the paintbrush and I scratched the lines in like the window would be. And I scratched them and I didn't go all the way down. With the scratches, I did it as rough as I could to about here, and then I left the rest fade. I thought it gave it more of a 3D look. Now in the Harry Potter films, these are arches. So I'm not brilliant at doing things like that, but I did do a kind of arch and I tried to shade it where the arch would look like it was 3D, so you can almost put your hand in it. I hope that it looks good. For me, I'm a little bit of a kind of, I criticise my work a lot, so obviously there's a lot of things I want to improve with the shelf and I can't yet. And one other thing I wanted to talk to you about was in the Harry Potter films with these, items, you have obviously the potions in Harry Potter. Now in the films, in the potions classroom, the top of the bottles have almost like a teardrop shape to them. Now for ages I thought it was actually part of the shelf itself, and when I looked closely, it's not. It's actually the top of the potion bottles. So what I want to do in later on videos is show you how I'm going to create that top part to make them look like they are part of the bottle. It's going to be very difficult. I have an idea I was going to show you today, but I don't think I have time. So I'd like to continue, and also I'm going to try and improve these tables as well. So I will show you hopefully in later videos to come. Now obviously with the floor of the potions classroom, you can see that it's quite rough. Now I'm just trying to clear the table enough for you to be able to see it very carefully. My nails are so long, it's struggling to pick stuff up. Right, so as you can see with the floor itself, it's almost like it's a kind of a different colour. There's a little bit of black, there's a little bit of white, there's lots of kind of textures, especially over here. And what I like about this is that you could almost pass it off as stone because of the way the colours have come through. Now it's not just black. This is an antique white, brown and black used together with the brush, as I showed you, with my favourite brush. I don't know what I'm going to do when this breaks, and I've literally dabbed all over the shelf like this. Then I have varnished, especially the base of these shelves, I have varnished them at least 3 times to make sure that nothing damages the shelves. So these have been varnished 3 times. The wall of this has probably been done once or twice, because I knew that this would probably get more of a bashing than the edges would be. So this here has been varnished. All of them have been varnished, and obviously that's what I will talk to you about in future videos with other shelves to come. Especially one of the shelves, which I had to varnish, otherwise it would have been a big problem. So this is it. This is my potion shelf. I hope you like it. I hope you have enjoyed me showing you my potions classroom shelf. It is one of my favourites, I'm not gonna lie, I absolutely love it. The detail that's gone into this is just amazing. I'm so proud of myself, and I've got other things to show you as well for this potion shelf, so make sure you stay tuned. If you would like to know about Monday's video, I am going to be showing you my first Accio box unboxing on my YouTube channel. It arrived today. It's very small. I haven't watched any unboxings for it. I'm very nervous because this is my first box, yet they've taken 3 payments. My 3rd payment went out today. I find that a bit strange. So I'm a bit confused why I've had so many payments and just 1 box. It's very odd. So yes, I've only paid for I've paid for 3 boxes, but I've only had 1 box. Very, very, very strange. Has anybody else had that problem? But if you would like to watch my first Accio unboxing on my YouTube channel, then please watch on Magical Monday at 6 PM. Until then, remember, I love you all. Take care, and I'll speak to you very, very soon. want to check out more of my content, take a look at this video right here or this video right here. Don't forget to like and subscribe.